Hey everyone, welcome to the weekly review. This week we actually went higher and unexpectedly closed like what's this 146 higher for SPY or SPX and had a bearish bias most of the week, meaning waiting for a pullback, but it didn't come and we actually went even higher on Friday. Like this wasn't supposed to happen if it was to be bearish. And so far, it looks like we're gonna get something like a super overextended move up, like this one, like we up, up, and this could have been a turn, but it wasn't, and we went higher, like this, or this second part of the move up here, very similar, like we went up, went a bit sideways here, but then a new leg up started. Or let's find a few more. This one from the 2020 post-COVID final leg up, like this, or this, like a situation where you could arguably see a top forming, but it's unrealized bearishness. And if it's unrealized, it can remain unrealized. Or this, not necessarily this leg up, this could have been okay, but some consolidation here, and this one was the unreasonable one. And it looks like we're going into the unreasonable phase. Next week we'll have a lot of economic data. We have a lot of earnings. On the earnings side, we have Meta, Microsoft, Google, Amazon, and Apple. Energy reporting on Friday, the big ones. UNH, a lot of big ones. Starbucks. Actually, I wanted to put Starbucks on the list here. Put it and in staples, let's say. Okay. Yeah, a lot of earnings, a lot of big ones, and plus on top of this, a lot of economic data. We have, I'll just do this. And for the US, we have JOLTS, new round of jobs data with unemployment, ADP, NFP, and so on. We have Q2 GDP, the first print, and expected to be 2.5. This might miss. And we also have a FOMC meeting on Wednesday. So a fully packed week and kind of a strange one as well because we get the jobs data post FOMC. We might get a situation where the Fed remains hawkish, meaning no cuts, and they won't confirm that they cut in September. And the jobs data comes in a bit worse than expected and causes a bit of a panic. And on the other side, like VIX was kind of strange. We have a close below 15, which might foreshadow a drop to the 12, 13 area, given that we didn't hold 15. But at the same time, we have VIVIX who posted 2 green days while VIX was red, and that's also foreshadowing a potential VIX spike. But I think we are safe until Wednesday. Like we need a reason to drop, like I mentioned, the unrealized bearishness, meaning like there is potential for a drop, but unless there is a trigger for it, and we don't know any trigger that could potentially start this unless it's earnings or I don't know the Fed, uh, it won't realize, and that just not melts up higher, but grinds us higher little by little, and we get that kind of move that I showed earlier that happened previously in the past. But for next week, even if we go up, like for example, let's say the earnings are fine, but Fed remains hawkish, I would expect a market up of all up scenario. So VIX should be going back above 15, and I kind of expect a move higher before it goes lower, like at least to 17 or something like that. Even if the market continues going up, we could have like a 0.5 market pullback, which is nothing, but a 10%, 15% spike in VIX somehow. It depends on who drops a little more. Like if tech drops instead of IWM, this would be plausible. Like tech going down let's say 1%, IWM going down half percentage point, like meaning relative outperformance, and SPY goes like minus 5.5 as well, and we get like a 15% VIX spike. That could happen, and it's still not a pullback, and market can go higher from there, but VIX goes higher to allow it to drop more, and so on and so on. And on the other side, like yields look kind of bearish, like triple rejection here. We close below the 13 EMA. I would expect we continue going lower, potentially have a breakdown here and go to 0.5, 4.5 again, something like this. It depends on what that does. Then oil still bearish, like got rejected on the second attempt to break out after the fake out, and now we are below all the ribbon here and getting rejected again, which would suggest another leg lower to the 60 area, which is also good for the market because it will like lower energy prices, meaning lower inflation and so on. DXY went down this week. Still think this is a bottom. Still think it's just consolidation at the bottom before a move higher. Trump expressed the desire for a weaker dollar, not a weak dollar, but a weaker dollar, and the market will eventually punish that position because the market lately has been doing what, not the market, equities have been doing what Trump wants, but the bond market has not been doing what Trump wants. So I expect FX to behave like bonds and squeeze the dollar higher eventually. Probably like sometime the move will start the actual squeeze. This wasn't a squeeze, this was just consolidation. A squeeze is basically this, like a constant grind higher that cannot be stopped by anything. So this is the type of squeeze I mean that will happen when it finally triggers. This is just consolidation like we had here, and eventually we will go into squeeze mode with near certainty here. Um, yeah. Okay. So this being said, we have to look at individual names. And while there's still some weakness in various names, like Tesla obviously dumped on earnings and getting rejected at the ribbon here, so could go either way, but there was bullish flow, so I kind of expect this will go higher. There were leaps for 600 or stuff like that. I don't know for Tesla. I could see it go either way. If there was justice in the world, this will dump horribly to like a 100 because it's a shitcoin, but it's Tesla, so you don't know. Apple is an interesting one because it keeps consolidating. We're getting constriction of the Bollinger Bands. I would be surprised if this moves before earnings. And for earnings, the bias is bullish, obviously. But still, we had this ghost print at here. This was the ghost print at 215.78, and we keep getting rejected by it. Rejection, 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 rejection. But we are getting rejected while making higher lows. So this means more like of an ascending triangle kind of build up, which is a breakout build up. So I would expect Apple to continue grinding higher, but it obviously will depend on earnings. And once we do breakout, we go to 220 for sure, the potentially 250 later on. Um, Nvidia did a bit of a pullback. It's one of the toppy ones, like it's been bouncing off the 13 EMA for a while now. I would expect a deeper pullback at some point, rather sooner than later, like go to 158, 160, and then do the next leg higher. It seems not that plausible that it continues this relentless up move. Google beat earnings, pull back. I think this consolidates. This goes significantly higher. Like I think we see 250 for it potentially by the end of the year, but it needs to catch up to the ribbon. So I think this just goes sideways a bit, go higher until this catches up, and it will catch up quickly, like something like this. So 190 area should be support, and eventually the start of a new leg higher that will take us to 250. That's my base case for Google. Amazon, kind of a breakout, but Bezos keeps selling. He sold billions this year, and kind of a bit of a strange one. This one, I am more bearish one. I don't like it that much, but we'll see. Microsoft, same as Nvidia. We are in this resistance trend line top area, which I don't see it breaking out quite yet. Same as Nvidia, it keeps bouncing on the 13 EMA here on the ribbon. This needs to do a deeper pullback before it can go higher. So the question more like if we get a pullback, not in Microsoft in general, but in the market overall, is when this does come, uh, will it be in sync with the rest of the market, or do we get something like IWM outperformance? And just like it happened all of this week and all the previous weeks, whenever tech is weak, IWM outperforms. Whenever IWM is weak, tech outperforms, and the market just keeps grinding higher. So this is the question: do we get a synced drop, or do we not get a synced drop quite yet? But given how Microsoft, I'm the one I think misses the most, or not misses. My earnings are gonna be fine, but the market, this is a perfection priced in kind of chart. So whatever, like Netflix is the good example. So perfection priced in kind of chart. It went up, constant up, and a big surge at the end. So perfection priced in. And even though earnings were fine, like basically met expectations slightly above, the market did not like it. So this is kind of what I expect from Microsoft as well when they report here. On the other hand, Apple is not perfection is not priced in, or like Google, perfection was not priced in. They were kind of underperforming the market, and the reaction was positive even though it faded. But like I said, I expect this to go higher. And on the same reason, I kind of expect Google to not really matter what the earnings are unless it's a huge miss or something like that. But the intention here is for the price to go up because it's underperforming, and we can see something like a rotation from Microsoft into Google into Apple, and the ones that have charts like this, which is Meta and Microsoft, which are again perfection priced in, is are the ones who I think even though they post good earnings, the market is gonna punish them because this is the price of perfection. Will just look like very similar to Meta, the Netflix chart. Once I adjust it a bit, look at this, like this, something. So they look kind of similar. It's just that Netflix had earnings here, Meta has them next week, and it had a chance to continue levitating for a while longer. But they have very similar charts, and I think we will get, because perfection cannot be achieved, the market is going to punish the lack of better than perfection, and Meta and Microsoft have a chance to get rejected and have a negative reaction. But oh, these are synced. So maybe on Wednesday, yeah, on Wednesday post market, I thought I was thinking maybe Meta plus Apple and Microsoft plus Amazon, and we weakness in one is offset by strength in the other or something like that. But they are synced. So yeah, Wednesday is the day where we have potential for a bigger drop into Thursday because it's difficult to meet perfection, and we obviously technical reasons as well, like bearish divergence here. Uh, Both of them, I think. Meta is already kind of in a downtrend. It managed to go back above the 13 EMA, but most likely it's going to go down below. So for Meta, I kind of expect something like this, like continued weakness, and eventually from earnings, we have a breakdown very similar to what we saw on in Netflix. Maybe it won't be big, just to the 55 EMA here, which is 685-ish, but that's kind of the idea. So Netflix, on the other hand, potential for going back up a bit, maybe gets rejected, maybe does this and goes lower. We'll see. Broadcom, same as Microsoft and Microsoft and Meta. Palantir, same. MicroStrategy, we saw we saw Bitcoin bounced a bit here, like it tried to go down, but it failed, and now it's holding and potentially pushing higher into next week. I would not be surprised to see that. So from that perspective, MicroStrategy, I think we have this falling wedge here, and it corrected a bit more than expected. Like it didn't bounce on the ribbon at all, but we're getting close to the 55 EMA, getting close to the breakout trend line. So I think there's a good chance this bounces very soon and goes higher next week. This also has earnings on Thursday, so I would expect we go into earnings on strength, not on weakness. Yeah. So I don't like it with energy going, expectation of oil prices going down. I still don't like it. And TSM just like perfection priced in, but this earnings has have passed. Large bearish divergence. So yeah, kind of bearish on this one. I don't really see it going higher. 250 is a or it goes higher, but 250 is a large level that it's difficult to break through. And if the rest of the market corrects through Microsoft and Meta, I think this goes lower as well. But on the other side, we have a bunch of names that are still kind of bullish, like the trio I keep mentioning for semis, which is Marvel, Qualcomm, which also has earnings next week, and Lattice Semiconductors. Miscellaneous, we have Apple, which I already mentioned, PCG here, which might get rejected a bit here and do something like this, or actually not that low, just this. Shopify, which had this huge accumulation in this area and just broke out. Now it's bouncing on the 13 EMA. I think this goes significantly higher. I would not be surprised to see 150 by in the next couple of months. AMBC, I posted it one doing kind of a broadening formation at breakout. This, like I explained for Google, this is waiting for the ribbon to catch up. My mouse keeps double clicking, and we're generally about there. I don't expect it another leg up here. Grab, same kind of look, broke out, consolidated bigger before a new leg up. Fun, this moved when we had that AMC move up, and again flipping the ribbon from red to green. Kind of a flaggish look here, like this, trying to go higher. UWMC, this I mentioned this one and it went higher a bit, but it was more sympathy to rocket companies which became a meme temporarily. Memes, all of them are pulling black, but as we know, this type of move has an echo, which will make a lower high, and it's expected that we will get the same kind of move here. Like let's look at GME. And I'm not even talking about this one. I'm talking about like move higher, go down, echo. Echo is here. This candle is the echo. So we peaked at 123-ish. It was 500 at back in the day. We went lower all the way to 28, and then we went higher to 102 again. Uh, Here we went all the way here. Echo came in a bit later. In general, this type of moves have an echo, and that's to be expected. Like this one here came in a bit later. AMC same kind of look, uh, like this one went up, down, echo back here, move back here. So I don't think this will be an exception. I think we see the echo for these names, especially the main one like Open and GoPro should see an echo coming in soon. Like I said, it's likely going to be a lower high, but very likely that it happens, like maybe 4 for Open. KSS, same kind of thing. Maybe it goes back to 18-ish, something like this. And this type, the real memes might actually wake up as well. That's why I put them here. So I would expect AMC, which had some longer term flows when uh, it it triggered on this move up here. So I would expect we get some accumulation and then try to break out here. Same for GME. Uh, Looks like this, maybe an ascending pattern, let's say. I don't think this is necessarily a falling wedge or a rising wedge, sorry. It could do this and now actually joining the fund go to 28.30 again because that's kind of the cap on these names. So yeah, all these names are looking kind of good. Lyft lost the AV up from the low, but still kind of a trend line hold here. So I could see it try to go back above. Maybe it's just a fake out down, but keep on an eye out for a breakdown. This might actually do this. We'll see. MSI broke out. Then we have staples. Starbucks earning this week. You see here how it's holding the ribbon. Um, Bias bullish for a staple should go to 110 or something like that. KView has actually bottomed over there, going higher and higher. Target, same kind of look as Starbucks. UPS, again, turning the ribbon green. Had a breakout here. Earnings next week, we'll see what earnings does. VFC backtest of the breakout, and if this turns into support, goes higher. Co and Pepsi. Pepsi had that earnings move. It caught up to the ribbon and seems to be holding above here. It didn't fully fade, holding the horizontal breakout. So idea is that it will go higher. RH broke out, now backtesting the ribbon and should go higher. SWK horizontal breakout broke the uptrend. Earnings next week. Lululemon, this one is lagging, but Nike went up. UA went up. I don't know, on. This one didn't, it went up earlier and probably will go higher again soon. This is a falling wedge. But you get the idea. I think this is just lagging and eventually will move higher as well. Earnings are quite a bit away. On the software side, CRM is my favorite name here. I think it will move higher significantly for this level. Team and Asana look pretty good, especially Asana. Maybe we get a breakout here way before earnings. Adobe still like it here, consolidating, making a bottom in this area. Eventually, it would move higher significantly. Pat, this is wrong, shouldn't be on the list. Zoom, same kind of consolidation before a move higher. And I mentioned it already. TTD got included in SPX and moving higher should surge up a bit here to 100. APP, this had the same look as semis and could see it break out and move higher. May just consolidate until earnings. Earnings are on what, the 6th, so another week aside from next one. So I could see this one just doing something like this until earnings and then higher or lower depending on the outcome. MongoDB is just moving higher. Again, might do a pullback to catch up to the ribbon. Do something like this, consolidating here a while. Datadog also including in SPX faded back to the ribbon and now going higher and higher. Would expect this to go to 200 eventually. China names look good. Baidu flipping the ribbon green. Also turning it into support. Would expect a breakout later. Baba, same kind of thing. We had a breakout. This AVU up getting us rejected a bit, but ribbon catching up and should go higher. PDD broke out, waiting for the ribbon. XPEV, they all kind of look the same. Then we have healthcare. We had TMO as one of the uh, pharmaceutical companies with good earnings. I expect more to follow. Teva, this was on my list of either breaking out down significantly or breaking out significantly, and it hasn't. It tried to break down, but it held, and now I think it has a bullish bias. It has earnings next week as well on Wednesday, so I kind of think this one will go crazy upside and just go like 22, 23, 25, something like this. So keep it on the list for next week. Even if you don't play earnings, I don't recommend playing earnings. But if this moves up on earnings, just chase. You wait for confirmation. This one has some crazy flow way above the ask on Friday, and potentially earnings on Tuesday could potentially do the same thing and just move higher significantly. This one is an example of another name that did well on earnings and turning things green again. Breakout here would take it to 224. So yeah, uh, on the UNH like stocks, we have Humana, which didn't join in the dumping with 11 Moch CNC and kind of did its own thing. I mean, it dropped but recovered. Also has earning next week with UNH. We'll see what happens. XBA still looks bullish. Then on energy side, we have COP, and I think we had Chevron, the continuous flow that still looks bullish. Yeah. On the short side, I don't like Disney. I would expect this will follow Netflix. If Netflix missed, I would expect Disney misses as well, or they didn't miss, but the market expectations are very high. We have Take-Two kind of breaking down, and I think if even if this goes up, it will go down into earnings. Philip Morris dumped on earnings as expected because also like a perfection priced in chart, and it failed to meet to the expectation of perfections. So this might continue down to like 150. Netflix, same kind of thing, maybe goes up but gets rejected and goes a bit lower, maybe like 1100, something like this. This area here should be support. And Spotify, same kind of approach. If Netflix, it's synced with Netflix. If Netflix dumped, I would expect Spotify also a perfection chart. Would expect this dumps and goes at least to like 60, 610, 600. Memes, I already mentioned that I think we have another leg up. And then we have the crypto names, which now I count DJT as a crypto name, SBET and Galaxy. If you didn't know, this name Galaxy is you heard the news about the crypto whale who bought at 10K and now is selling for 10 billion, stuff like this, for Bitcoin. They deposited their Bitcoin balance in on Galaxy. This is why this name is going up, and also has earnings relatively soon. We'll see what happens with it. But my point why I went through all of these names is, or at least first through the mega caps and then through the other names, is to showcase that there's more reason for bullishness than there is bearishness. Like aside from Microsoft and Meta and potentially Nvidia, which are huge parts of the market, and even if they pull back a bit, there can be other names to offset this weakness. Um, and I still don't think the market pulls back significantly. Like we had various names being red. This ones were in that green, but this is a good breadth market. And even if Nvidia, Microsoft, and Meta, where's Meta? Meta here, uh, go down, a rotation into Apple, Google, more healthcare, a bit more staples like Coke and Pepsi, and all the other names that have been underperforming would more than offset a drop from these names. The market will be more or less flat or slightly up, but this like plus zero point 0.3 days plus 0.42 days will eventually get us to 6500, and that's kind of the target here. The correlation with the 2018 correction is no longer that valid, but I think the values, the targets, price targets stick. So we should be seeing 6500, then a larger correction to like as low as 6K, and then we go for the full 67, 6800 by end of year. So this is kind of my take. We go up a bit higher, go up a bit higher to this area, probably go sideways a bit here like this, and then we correct to six, somewhere between 6000 and 6100, and then just go higher to this target of 67. Yeah, that's it for now. Have a good one. Bye bye.